What's up, everybody? I'm Tony. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to today's Wheel of the Year celebration. The Wheel of the Year is just what it sounds like. Time moves in a circle. Sort of. Seasons move in a circle. Certainly, the Earth rotates. Certainly, the Earth orbits around the sun. Is it exactly a circle? No, it's more of an ellipse. But this circular, repetitive, routine pattern dictates a lot of what we can pay attention to in our lives. And ancient humans have celebrated holidays based on the turning of the earth for a long time. You know, they were ancient. What's up, Dread? Welcome. And so today we're doing a celebration of Lammas. This has Celtic roots as well, and in my family we really get excited about celebrating these holidays and trying to orient our attention towards the turning of the earth. So welcome. We're going to start with a bit of a singing bowl meditation. So let's get that reverb back on. I think it'll be nice. It is quite a clever thing you've done there, Dread. Greeting the dread with enthusiasm and delight. You know, Thich Nhat Hanh writes a book, a lot of books. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote a book called Pieces Every Step. And in that book, Thich Nhat Hanh says, here's a way to approach your anger. Rather than like getting it all out, rather than pounding a pillow, say, oh, hello, anger. There you are again. And use that anger as compost for your garden. Observe the harmonic spectrum of the singing bowl. There's so many different pitches being emphasized. It's a cool sound. And I like singing bowls because they last for a long time, engaging my focus and helping me to listen. Oh, and listening is so important. We're going to start with the song. Sun, sweet sun, thank you for shining on me. Thank you for rising each day. Sun, sweet sun. I'm going to sing this 3 more times. See if you can catch on and sing along. Sun, And this last time, focus on the fact that you are thanking the sun. Doesn't matter if the sun can't understand your language. Doesn't matter if the sun can't hear you light years away. Direct your focus towards thanking the sun for shining on you. Sun, sweet sun, thank you for shining on me. Thank you for rising each day. Sun, sweet sun, sun, sweet sun, 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 sweet sun. And now we're going to read a little bit from The Craft. The Craft is this cool book that my partner just happened to have on her shelf when we moved in together. And I've gotten real deep into this book. There's like meditation exercises in here. There's instructions for building a wand. It's like, if you want to get down and figure out like, what the fuck does it mean to be a witch? This book, The Craft by Dorothy Morrison, could give you some ideas of what it could mean for you. And it's so great to have an entry point into something like that, I think. As we read these words, let's go to a dry sound. No more reverb for a bit. Here's what Dorothy Morrison writes about Lammas. And the mother is at her abundant best. The fruit of her labor is everywhere, and we gather to reap her bounty. That's a really fun way of saying stuff's grown in the garden, and it's time to pick it and enjoy it and share it, right? That being the case, it's not only important to reap the fruits of the earth now, but as the mother's children, children of the earth, to offer ourselves for harvest as well. By doing so, we will be chosen to carry on her work in many forms and fashions. We know that this work won't always be easy, but we also know that the Mother will bless us many times over for the parts that we play, and that these blessings will always outweigh any effort we put forth. We're going to talk more about doing the work of the Mother Earth. We're going to talk more about that, but first, we're going to sing another song. This is a song I wrote called The Song. I was born without a sign, nothing special in the sky. I come to you as an equal to share what gets me high. The song, it holds us all together. The song, don't misunderstand. Don't get lost in metaphor. One song can't cease all of your struggle, but it can give you so much more. The song, it makes the answer clearer. The song, play guitar. All you need to do is to listen. Music meets you where you are. The song, it's gonna make you stronger. The song, I could sing you as a round with harmony, of course. I know your song. I could, if you're searching for the truth, you must be careful, must be bold. All you need to do is to listen. Truth isn't something we can hold. Deep inside of every faith, there's a message, one of love. And no matter what you believe, faith alone is not enough. Every time you hear a song, symphony or extended play, listen closely to the music and everything it has to say. The song, the truth, the life, the way, the song. I could rehearse you all day long. We'll be perfect in the end. I know your song. I know your song. Sun, sweet sun, thank you for shining on me. Thank you for rising each day. Sun, sweet sun. Thank you, Dread. Thank you, Dread. Let's have some tea. Next, we're going to talk. I want to talk about that idea that Dorothy wrote down, that the time for personal harvest is upon us. What could that mean? What does that mean, Dread? If there's anybody else out there, what does it mean to do personal harvest? To reap a personal harvest. I hope you enjoyed that song. I think that might be the best I've ever performed it. There was still a couple of mistakes, but it was really nice. Love it when it feels good. So I think personal harvest, let's think about the harvest. In April, late April, and then all throughout May, I wasn't involved in this process personally, physically, and I want to be involved in it next year. I have to be more proactive to get involved. But my partner and my mother-in-law, that's what I call my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law and my partner, they went out to the garden and they dug the soil, they tilled it, they loosened it, they put fresh compost in there, and they buried seeds. And some of these seeds turned into marigold plants, marigold flowers, within like 3 weeks. Some of them take longer. Some of them are pumpkin. And the pumpkin is just slowly taking shape now. I think we'll have perfect pumpkins this year by October. And throughout all this time, that's not it. You go through the long work of starting the process, planting the seed, and then you water. You take care. You look out for pests. You look out for bugs that might be eating the leaves, preventing the photosynthesis of this plant, which allows it to eat, which nourishes it, which helps it grow. And then harvest is where, if you've taken care of the plant, it's ready. I am so excited. I think in another week, I'm going to pull a beet out of the garden. And I'm going to cook those beet greens, and I'm going to cook that beet, probably with like ginger and like spicy peppers in like a North Indian style, because we have cookbooks like that, and I'm fucking so blessed to be like part of the family that gets me hip to all of these beautiful things. For example, sunflowers. Look at my panda today. So personal harvest, I think it's not enough to just say like, well, I'm going to, pick out it's the fruits of my labor, right? And I think we'd be wrong to overly focus on the word harvest. If we only focus on harvest, we miss all the parts of like, what seeds have you planted that you are trying to harvest in your own personality, in your own behavior? Take a moment to notice and delight in the fruits of your labors. We bury seeds, we nourish them, but we never stand back to delight in the work we've done if we don't stop to harvest. And this is actually really interesting, Dredd. My family, I didn't get involved in the seed process. I would like to be, but also I'm fulfilling a different role. I'm really good at going out to the garden and snipping off like 6 basil leaves and parsley and chopping it up and using it in a casual dinner on a weeknight. I'm good at going out there and like taking the things from the garden and using them. And my partner and my mother-in-law they struggle with that part of it. They get overwhelmed by like, oh my God, there's like so many peas to pick. There's so much zucchini. What the fuck are we gonna do with all the zucchini? and it's that part of it is easier for me to like get out there, and I enjoy the slow, repetitive work of opening up pea pods and taking out the individual peas, which when you've homegrown them is an exquisite flavor as like part of a salad or quinoa. It's the texture too, that like perfectly light biting into of the pea. It's gorgeous. And so we work together in this way. It's why I love living with the people I live with. I love living with 3 other adults and my child. We are so good together. We fill in roles and things about like the basic farm that we run. It's hard work. Well, it's time-consuming work, One of my theories in life is that hard doesn't really exist. There's only things that are time-consuming and things that happen very quickly, and somewhere on the gradient there. But hard and easy, I think that's what it really translates to. And so something can seem impossible if you understand how much time it takes, and you can't motivate yourself to spend that time doing that thing. So here are some connections to my personal life of how I am, the seeds I feel like I've planted, and how I'm trying to continuously nourish those seeds. And hopefully the people who enjoy my personal harvest, I think, are even more so the people I live with, the people I interact with, because I'm working on being a better listener. I'm really trying to be a little more efficient in my life without falling into the trap of like capitalistic efficiency, which I would argue is that you value efficiency above all else. I'm interested in taking efficiency and putting it on an equal playing field with lackadaisical playfulness. Here's an example. I love to cook. And I love to cook so much that I will often plan a meal that takes about 2 hours to cook. There's a lot of different preparation steps. I need to peel beets. I need to chop beets. I need to boil the beets. I need to then fry the beets. I need to peel and shred ginger. I need to thinly slice green chilies and de-seed them. I need to prepare a teaspoon of fenugreek seed and a half teaspoon of cumin seeds and like all this shit that like goes into the pan really fast one after the other. That you got to prepare all that first so then you can cook it. And then you're like making a lentil dish that takes an hour and 20 minutes to really like sit and congeal into its best texture. And so my partner's pointed this out before, and there was another sort of lapse in my own judgment, I would say, last week as I was cooking a long meal, and my partner was just like, I'm so tired, and you cooking this long meal means that you can't be a co-parent with me. I have to be totally responsible for our child all by myself. And this is why I only cook one pot meals so that I can like get it done and, you know, be able to do other things. And so I think what we talked about, actually, what I realized fairly quickly is that like I've been doing this sort of thing too often. It's not that I should never sit down and cook a 2-hour meal. But if I do it every single week, or even like 2 times every single week, that is a lot of time where I don't get to really be responsible for my child. And a seed that I planted years ago at our wedding ceremony, and then again for the birth of our child, this seed is to be an equal partner, to be equally invested in the caretaking of of myself, of my partner, and of my child. To really anticipate things. I think that's one of the real differences. When my partner's so easily able, she has a long history in professional childcare, as a teacher, as a professional nanny. And so she thinks ahead for the child's needs so easily and second-naturedly. I'm able to learn this skill as well, but it is taking me more time. I have to water that seed. I have to practice. I have to think about it. And another way that I think I could add to being a more equitable partner is to address this thing with my cooking. To say like, hey, I can make efficient, delicious things. The other part of this is that 2-hour meal I made, my partner didn't even like it that much. It was Sri Lankan food. I really like those flavors, the combinations of curry leaves and coconut milk, but my partner doesn't like those flavors so much. So for her, it was kind of like, maybe being a parent by myself, eat the meal that definitely nourishes me and fills me up, but it's sort of like a weird taste in my mouth. It's like, some people taste cilantro and it is soapy to them. Other people like me taste cilantro and I just like am in heaven. We don't all taste things the same. And that's another thing that I've planted a seed, and I would say is already has borne much fruit already, but I can continue to nourish and benefit from, is taking other people's discomfort just as seriously as I would take my own. It's very hard for me to eat a lot of cheese, and so my partner takes that into account when she's cooking. Doesn't force me to here's a bunch of, four cheese mac and cheese. That's what's for dinner tonight. Nothing else. I'd be like, ugh. It would make my mouth feel really gummy and sort of kind of like I have to puke. It would be very unpleasant. So my partner admits that eating Sri Lankan food is not quite as unpleasant for her as mac and cheese is for me. But I think the comparison still stands of she never makes mac and cheese for dinner. She never does it, right? I would think she would be well within her right to make mac and cheese and be like, well, I'll cook some for myself. But she doesn't want to do that. She wants us all to eat the same thing, So if I took that same sort of perspective and said, I can cook something that not only will be faster, will be more efficient, I'll be able to spend more time with my child, let my partner rest a bit more. It will also be more delicious for everybody, right? And what a harvest that shall be. And it reminded me of something that I worked on with a therapist a while ago, where I sing thoughts that I need to hear. Anxiety demons are working in my mind 24/7, and they tell me things like, this is a careful balance, they tell me things like, your partner's way is better. You should do it your partner's way. Why aren't you just like your partner's way? Why can't you change, Tony? What the fuck's the matter with you? That's what the anxiety demons sound like. They sound slightly reasonable, slightly logical. And so to come back to that and say, I think you're making a mistake, anxiety demon. I don't need to be just like my partner all the time. I don't need to change myself into my partner. First of all, impossible. Second of all, not actually what's needed. I can learn from my partner, do some activities in a similar mindset and style as my partner, and also sometimes balance with my natural inclination. This will really nourish my own peace of mind, and I think it makes our experience as married partners together more rich, more nourishing, actually. It's like one thing that attracts us to each other is, of course, our differences, right? We don't want to glom into the same sort of behavior. We want to be able to meet on kinds of behavior, and that's why me cooking more meals in a short way would be good. So something that I needed to sing to myself in order to accept the way I am, while also adding on new ways of behavior, goes like this. All is well. Everything is happening in the right way at the right time. All is well. All is well. I believe in my ability. Everything is happening in the right way at the right time. All is well. I believe in my ability to provide for my family. Everything is happening in the right way at the right time. All is well. Dread, seriously inspired by this opening of the stream. Church sermon vibes, a good one, and I like a good church service. Dread, that is exactly what I've been dreaming about since I started Twitch, and I actually think that you're witnessing me sort of like get into the groove for the first time. I think this way of interacting with each other and humans is so fucking important. So probably this is a great practice ground for me, but I think another seed maybe I'd like to plant, tell me if you agree, tell me if you want to nourish this seed with me, is planting the seed of doing a thing like this live on Sunday mornings, or maybe just doing it in a more accessible way. I could do it on a Zoom call and invite people from my church to tune in on, the same time maybe. I don't think it needs to be Sunday mornings. I'm already working on Sunday mornings at a church, I should do it other times. But anyways, I'm glad you're enjoying it. If you have ideas, Dread, for things for me to sing as part of this chant, if anyone else out there has ideas for me to sing, because that later idea in the song, all is well, that's the central theme. All is well, everything is happening in the right way at the right time. All is well. That's the protein of this. That's the nourishment that we'll repeat over and over. But the next phrase was something my therapist specifically suggested to me, because I was sort of panicked about starting my own business. Sing about dread. Right. And I started singing, I was worried about making enough money as a self-employed person to pay for all the stuff that we need to pay for. Student loans and health insurance and vacations. I believe in my ability to provide for my family. Everything is happening in the right way at the right time. all is well. What's up, Dread? How you doing today? Come on in, Dread. Come on in now. It's okay for Dread to be here. It's okay for Dread to be here. All is well. Everything is happening in the right way at the right time. All is well. There's another chant idea that I think I'll also do now because I need to warm up my voice more. I feel pretty good, but I could be even looser. I sing with the flow of a mighty river. I sing with the gentleness of a quiet stream. I sing with the power of a raging flood. I sing with the ease of a peaceful lake. I never move, I never push or hold. I just move with the flow. I sing with the flow of a mighty river. I sing with the gentleness of a quiet stream. I sing with the power of a raging flood. I sing with the ease of a peaceful lake. I never push or hold, I just move with the flow. I move with the flow. I sing with the flow of a mighty river. I sing with the gentleness of a quiet stream. I sing with the power of a raging flood. I sing with the ease of a peaceful lake. I never push or hold, I just move with the flow. All is well. Everything is happening in the right way at the right time. All is well. I believe in my ability to provide for my family. Everything is happening in the right way at the right time. All is well. What's up, Dread? How are you doing today? I want you to know that you're welcome here. Come on in now, dread. Come on in now, dread. Come on in. Come on in, dread. Even though I dread, I will accept you. Even though it takes a lot of time, I'll move through you. Because all is well, everything is happening in the right way at the right time. All is well. I wish you a bountiful personal harvest. I hope you will think carefully about the seeds you plant, how to nourish them, and that everyone around you reaps the benefit of this planning and nourishment and harvest. Blessed Lammas.